Hello, let's have a look at the final stage of this image. We want to do the color. Now I control my color quite a lot in Lightroom. I do a lot with color grading. However, with my images shot on my gray kind of blue background, I find this the best method to kind of control my color afterwards. It's a really simple technique, really, really easy. The first thing we're going to do is simply I duplicate my layer and we click Control B. And I actually just do a lot of things here with my color balance. By using the shadows, midtones, and highlights, I find that there's quite a lot I can control. So if I use my shadows with this particular image, I really want to make the background quite teal. So I'm going to use cyan to push that teal in. I'm going to use a little bit of the blues, just a little bit, tiny amounts into there just to make a difference. If I switch over to my highlights now, this is where I'm going to go the opposite way on exactly the same dials. I'm going to bring a little bit of my reds and a little bit of my yellows. Now, the reason that this works is for this image with this lighting, my highlights is her. It's not really going to affect much of my background. This is the highlights, these are the arms. These are sort of more midtones, and then our shadows are, of course, within the hat and the socks, but also the vignette around the edge. So if I move this to the side, let's turn it off and on. So off and on, it's just got such more dynamic kind of look. Now, before it didn't look wrong, but it now gives it a sort of purpley feel. It looks like it was before. By adding that, I think it really emphasizes the tones of the image and makes it even more dramatic. Now I'm going to click OK on that one, but for now I'll turn that off and we'll do a different one, because I'm going to do it the same in the other direction. If I go to my shadows, I can actually choose to warm them up and go down a really warm tone. And then in my highlights, I can kind of play along and cool that down and do the reverse. And you get this almost metallic kind of vibe with it, which I also love. I think that looks really nice too. I tend to go with the blue themes, but that's my personal preference, if I'm honest. But yes, the metallic-y kind of look can look awesome. And you can play with a lot of different combinations depending on the skin tone, the outfit, the hair colors, all the different colors of your image. There's a lot of different things you can do. Something I quite like to do is go quite purple, not quite purple, whoops. Go into there and bring the purples in just a bit there. And then in my highlights, I can push that right back by bringing in those yellowy kind of tones. And go back onto my shadows. Let's pull in there and pull in from that. Well, I accidentally did that on my midtones. Doesn't matter. Let's go to our shadows and pull in the purples there. And if I think that's too intense with that purple glow, I can always tone it down with my opacity or try a different blend setting to see what I prefer and what's going to work. So for me, I'm going to stop this one on blue. It's my favorite. It's what I think works best. So I'm going to flatten my layer to that. But that's how I control that last little bit of color and really add something a bit special into the image. Thanks for joining us.